Never get out of bed again. Never get out of bed again.
It scarred me for my entire childhood. I still find it the scariest scene in the movie. Oh, hello, testing. I promise, in a few minutes, I'm gonna look better. Hi guys, as you might notice, I don't have my full face of makeup on. A while ago, I did a top 5 video, my top 5 favorite Buffy episodes while I did my makeup. It was super fun, but it was also hard. That being said, I'm gonna do something similar today, but I already started doing my makeup, so I get that part out of the way. I definitely didn't get any better at giving tutorials.
I can't do this on camera. I'm so bad.
Whatever, I'm just gonna do my makeup on camera while I talk about my top 5 classic favorite horror movies. If you know me, I absolutely adore horror movies. They're my favorite. I'm all about it. I've been watching them since I was a kid. I'm gonna start with classics. These are all from the early 80s or the 80s and the 70s. So I just watched that clip back and I look like I have no lips because my foundation is on right now. I promise, in a few minutes, I'm gonna look better. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and now, well, let's get into the video. So I started watching some of these old school horror movies when I was really little because my mom also loves scary movies. They've remained some of my favorites because even though they do remakes, the originals are always hard to duplicate. Before I get into my number 5, I'm gonna show you this Tarte Concealer. It's called Shape Tape. I use a few different concealers like I did in my last video, but I discovered this one since then and it's quickly become my favorite concealer. I'm Light Medium Honey 27H. I still use a Laura Mercier setting powder, so I did my face foundation in that. And I also found this setting powder. They're both great. This is the Cinema Secrets. It's completely sheer. Some random fluff on my forehead. Now that that part of my face is on, first classic horror movie that you must watch is Black Christmas. I didn't know this, but it's actually Canadian, like me. It's from 1974. They've since done Black Christmas remakes. Last one was pretty recent, and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good. It's a holiday movie that is so scary. And not holiday Halloween, like it's supposed to be the happiest time of the year, Christmas. It's about a sorority of girls and they basically have this creepy stalker who's calling their phone, leaving these really disturbing messages. The voice is truly scary. I also found out like his talking, he spoke upside down on the phone or something to make his voice sound creepier. Old school days when you had to get creative with your special effects. The murderer in the movie is also one of the cameramen. I think that adds to how scary it is because it's so mysterious. You don't really see the guy, you hear him breathing. It's nasty. That movie gave me nightmares. So they get these anonymous phone calls. The sorority girls, it's the ones that stayed back for Christmas, just getting traumatized in this house. And then they realize quickly that it's a serial killer that is on the loose, targeting them. Definitely a must watch. And if you've seen the remakes, this one trumps all of it. I keep trying to find different angles here. I usually do my makeup standing up, but not today. After I get my setting powder on, I really don't know how to contour. I just do my nose. So I'm gonna do that right now. I just use like a little brush. I just have a random palette. I did recently discover this brush. It's the Huda Beauty one. I use this in a beauty blender. I still suck. So I also now just added some highlighter onto there. I'm gonna blend everything a little bit better. Number 4 is Pet Sematary, Stephen King's original from 1989. And this was, I think, honestly, this was the first horror movie I've seen aside from Scream. So Pet Sematary, they've also done remakes of, and while the last one I saw wasn't that bad, nothing compares, again, to the original. So Pet Sematary is about this family that moves into this house. Long story short, there's a native burial ground that's been there forever, and apparently if you bury your pets there or someone, they come back to life, but they don't say how they come back to life. You do it with a cat, the cat comes back psycho. People here tried to do it with humans. It's a great classic scary movie, and one scene with the sister who's bedridden.
Never get out of bed again. Never get out of bed again.
It scarred me for my entire childhood. I still find it the scariest scene in the movie. I realized that from that angle, I look nude. Not appropriate. So next up, I'm doing my blush. I usually use a peach blush. I'm kind of old school and sometimes I just like a pink blush. I bought a couple. This one's super pink. This one was a refill. I think it's NARS, but NARS are makeup forever, but I didn't know that. I obviously didn't read. And I'm gonna put on some bronzer. I use the same one always. Too Faced Chocolate Soleil. If there are any makeup artists watching my technique, I feel sorry for you because you're probably cringing right now. Number 3, my next favorite classic scary movie is probably a classic that anyone with good taste likes, and it's The Shining. Jack Nicholson's performance, disturbing, amazing.
Here's Johnny.
I didn't watch this one till later because I don't think I would have understood the psychological aspect of the movie. It makes a lot of sense. I think that staying somewhere locked up for so long, I'm sure a lot of us can relate now, makes you go a little crazy. In Jack Nicholson's case, he went a lot crazy. Fun fact, before this whole pandemic went down, one of the trips that I was planning or wanted to go on was to Colorado. First of all, because Colorado looks beautiful, and second of all, so I could stay in the actual overlook hotel from The Shining. And I promise, when things are a little less weird, I am going there first. Another thing that I adore about The Shining is that it's an actual piece of art. I look like a crazy person. I think it would be worse leaving the house with a face of half makeup, like just this, than leaving with none at all, because I go out with no makeup all the time. Half done, it makes you look weird. Like my eyes look bald. I look like an alien. Oh, my face is basically done. It's time to move on to the eyes, the eyebrows. But before I do that, let's talk about my number 2. My number 2 movie, not my number 2. Awkward. Your girl is in need, has been in need of getting her eyebrows done, and here I am in Toronto, you still can't go get your eyebrows done. I don't trust myself to wax my own eyebrows because I don't want to go back to the 2000s when I had pencil thin eyebrows, okay? Halloween, the original. One of the best horror movies ever. I don't think Halloween time is complete without watching the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay, so why do I love Halloween? It's also my mom's favorite. I feel like when it's Halloween time, my mom actually watches it every day when it's on TV. Like, what are you doing? What are you watching? If she's off of work, she'll be like, Halloween, love it. Around that time of year when it's nice and fall weather, my favorite outside, put that movie on. The best movie music to add in the background. Something about it is just so cozy. It makes me feel comforted. I don't know if anyone says that about a scary movie, but it's comforting to me. Ah! I made part of my eyebrow too dark. I'm trying to keep my train of thought about the movies. I did this last time. It was more difficult than I planned. My eyebrows are done. Aside from just the vintage creepiness, another reason why the original Jamie Lee Curtis Halloween is the best, because it's John Carpenter. So now it's time for my eye makeup. I used to use Stila Stay All Day, the waterproof black liquid eyeliner. It had been sold out, I think, since before Christmas, so I got fed up and I'm like, you know what, look, I need to find another one. My favorite is this Tarte Double Take eyeliner. It's double-sided, but I use the liquid side. It is a lifesaver. I might even be a convert. So I'm gonna do that. So for my number 1 horror movie, it is Christine, and it's about a car. The story was written by Stephen King, though, and it was directed by John Carpenter, so you really can't go wrong when it's both of those guys. They are amazing. Just because it's about a car, it doesn't mean it's any less scary. I forgot that I'm gonna put on this. I'm not much of an eyeshadow person. It doesn't really suit me that much, but I discovered this Jewel Pop by Charlotte Tilbury. It's literally just dip your finger in glitter to put over your lids. I'm happy I found it because it looks really good. Literally moments later and it's done. It is a lazy girl's best friend. So Christine was one of the other first movies I saw as a kid that was scary. And at first, like I said, I was wondering how a movie about a car could even be scary. But once my mom let me watch it and I sat in front of that TV, I was glued. It was such a wonderful movie. And just like that, her eyeliner is done. Here I am on the floor again. So continuing what I was talking about Christine, it's about a geeky dude in high school who finds this old car. The car is Christine, and they basically become obsessed with each other. So the car is possessed. It is such a great movie. You have to see it for yourself, and there's no excuses because I just realized the original is now on Netflix. Even for an old movie, the effects were pretty good. Basically done, but I'm gonna do my lips to complete my look. I'm gonna use Spice Lip Liner from MAC. And I have two sticks I've been liking lately. One is this Sugar Rush Sugar Coat. It's also Tarte in the color Frosting. This is NARS Dolce Vita. So my look is now complete. I decided to use the NARS one. Crazy how much of a difference lips on your face can make. My favorite scene from the movie Christine, my number one, is the scene where Christine is chasing the school bullies. And there's something about the way this was filmed. Again, John Carpenter, master with the creepy music. So I've told you about my 5 classic favorite horror movies from like the 70s and 80s. Black Christmas, Pet Sematary, The Shining, the original Halloween with Jamie Lee Curtis, and Christine. So if you haven't watched them and you like horror, go watch them all right now. So I would love to do more of these videos on horror. So I would love to do more videos like this about horror. Maybe next time I can do my favorite ones from the 90s or my favorite scary shows. You guys name it. I will report on it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all next Sunday. Bye guys!